Today is the 11th of May, 2023. And there's a lot of people that are concerned, especially when I do videos on dirty police. See, in America, there's a place for dirty police. Once you have a complaint, they will investigate it. But in the Bahamas, I paid my way to Grand Bahama to report Wendell Clark, a drunken superintendent of police, to Wendell Smith. I know I was in trouble because both of them were named Wendell. Both of them was high ranking and both of them were corrupt. We saw what happened in Abaco after they locked me up on the road. It was coming up to Mother's Day, so I remember clearly everything that my mother would tell me. And when they locked me up for using my taxi to endanger the life of a policeman, I said to Wendell Smith, I'm going to say what Althea Mills always tell me: I leave you in Jesus Christ's almighty name. That is the best place to leave corrupt cops, because in the Bahamas, they promote them from rank to rank and they're corrupt. So when you see me do videos on Deanso Cash, he was in Abaco for 25 years and he probably retired here, but he was so corrupt. And I do the video because I got to get some payback. Somehow I already went to court and it's a little bit of revenge. And people give me advice, but I pay for advice. Where were y'all when they sent me to Fox Hill prison for 10 days, when I had to be strip searched? When I go before the magistrate and she talked to you like you're a dog, like you ain't have no sense and you're innocent. Where were y'all when I'm locked up, handcuffed, put before the courts for years and years, only because I speak truth to power? And I recognize that the police are only there to serve and to protect all of my constitutional rights. And when the police are the very one that infringed on them, I go to video, because Kai cares about corrupt cops. They ought not be on the force, but they promote them, corrupt cops, from corporal to sergeant to inspector to ASP to superintendent. But in essence, when they retire, they will be corrupt cops. And they will remember that there's one person that stood and speak without fear or favor, because I have a constitutional right for freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association. There are so many police that have kidnapped me because of my fundamental constitutional rights. I am in Supreme Court. 5 police, and their charges were kidnapping. Y'all may think it's a joke, but when any police move you from your constitutional right of freedom of association, freedom of speech, and all your constitutional rights, just because they're wearing a badge and have a gun, there is a place for them. That is why Kai could come to video and speak. How many other young Abaconians that they done this to? We got the Rangers. You know what the Rangers does in Abaco? 90% of the people that they pick on the Rangers in Abaco that go and join the police force, defense force, and all the other force, all of them of a Haitian background. So therefore you have people that are allegiance to Haiti and the Bahamas. You cannot have that in your defense force and your police force. But 90% of the Rangers that they train to disrespect Abaconians. I saw it during COVID-19. The police will lock up all Abaconians, but the Haitians are up and down like flies. They would never lock them away. But every Bahamian, even if they're locked away, the police will lock them up, come to the house, lock them up, and put them before the court. $2,500 for people that had just survived Hurricane Dorian. That is why I speak, because the police is the worst government agency after Hurricane Dorian, and still the worst government agency in Abaco today under Christopher Minus, Green, Sergeant Roll, ASP Deanso Cash. They are corrupt from top to bottom. A bunch of corrupt police in uniform with a gun. I don't feel safe at all. But I do not fear death. I fear life. Death may come only once. I'm living every day in fear because of the corruption of the top of the police force in Abaco, Christopher Minus, and all the rest of them weightless, no good, good for nothing officers that serve under him. They make all the good officers look bad, and all the good officers know they're corrupt, but they can't say anything. You ask yourself, how could they get to such rank? Because they started corrupt, and the entire time they in the force, all they were doing is corruption. And that is why I spend so much time before the courts, in prison, in lockup, because I dare speak about the corruption. And I shall and I will continue to speak about the corruption until death do me part. I do not fear death. I fear the corruption that is rimming over this country called the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And only way you get promoted in this country if you are absolutely corrupt and have the right color t-shirt and supporting the right political party. You could be corrupt and as rotten as an onion. You're respected and they're supposed to salute you. Not Kai. I shall not and I will not salute or respect nobody that I know that is corrupt, because Kai cares about the future of this country. We cannot have a country that is second to Somalia with corruption. It's unacceptable. And Kai shall and will speak whatever I can and point the camera and the finger to the blatant corruption, because Kai still cares. I ain't heard nothing from Coik, Cornish. I ain't heard nothing from John Pinder. Darren Henfield has left the building. James Albury is back in America. The only person still is speaking for the people of Abaco is Kai Mills, because Kai still cares. That's why he's here. Too much corruption in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.